Hey everyone, welcome back to Agile Coder. In this video, I'll talk about a scalable and maintainable directory structure for Node.js Express projects. Having a well-organized directory structure is essential as it makes development easier and simplifies adding more features over time. So let me give you a quick overview of what we'll be covering in this video. We'll be discussing domain-driven design, a widely used programming paradigm. This helps separate concerns and organize modules into domains, making it easier to understand the feature you're building and stay in sync when revisiting a project. Now, this video is not for absolute beginners. However, if you've worked on Node.js Express projects, big or small, you'll definitely find this structure useful. Once you start using this design pattern, it will elevate your projects. And if you are a freelancer, following this structure will make you stand out and impress your clients. So let's begin. The root level of this project structure looks like this. Among these, the following are the important files and directories. Let's go through them one by one. .devcontainer directory contains a JSON file which contains instructions for the development container. It's very convenient for setting up your application in a development environment. If you are unsure of how to configure it for Node.js applications, leave a comment down below and I'll create a video for that. .github directory contains the GitHub Actions workflows. For example, I have a deploy.yaml. So this workflow is triggered whenever I push changes to the main branch. It deploys my latest code to the server. You can add any jobs or tasks that should run when something is pushed to GitHub or when some other actions occur. Now let's come to src directory. This directory holds the source code of our application. It's the most important part of this video, so make sure not to skip it. Inside src, we have configs directory. Now this configs directory contains configuration files for various services. For example, database connection settings, mailer configurations, Twilio, Stripe, and any other service related configurations are stored inside this directory. Now let's come to domains. This directory is the core of our domain-driven design pattern. As discussed earlier, domains act as modules or services, abstracting real-world entities into separate components within our application. You can think of it as similar to the microservices pattern, but more intuitive for monolithic applications. Inside this, we might have a user domain which includes its own models, controllers, routers, and types. Types is specifically if you are using TypeScript, otherwise this is not needed. The router here is self-contained and easily isolated from the main application. You can even version it by adding a scope to it. This router is then integrated to the main router defined in routes/index.ts. Similarly, we can have other domains such as post domain, each with its own structure. At the end of the day, this setup makes it incredibly easy to create and manage services as well as version them when releasing updates for your APIs. You gain full control over the different versions of your API. Now let's come to jobs. This directory contains scheduled jobs or background tasks that run periodically. Since some examples can include automatically cleaning blocked user data after a year, or maybe deleting attachments when a user deletes their account, and we can also include automated maintenance tasks as well. I'll be creating a dedicated video on setting up cron jobs, so make sure to subscribe for updates. This libs directory holds third-party middlewares and libraries such as course, body parser, cookie parser, and more. Now, don't confuse this with configs. This libs directory contains functions or middlewares, whereas configs stores only service configurations. Right? This middleware directory contains custom middlewares for our application. For example, we might have authorization middleware, which helps us to protect our API endpoints, and we can also have admin-only access middlewares, which will restrict our routes for only the admin users. Now, this routes directory we've discussed earlier, but more or less this is the index route file for the entire application, making everything modular and organized. Templates directories contains templates for views or now, for example, we might have an OTP verification.html template which will be used for sending out mails for OTP verification. I'll also be making a video on setting up node mailer and how we can use this node mailer for user verification through OTPs or verification links. So stay tuned. This utils directory contains reusable functions and constants that can be used across the application. For example, we might have a constants file for user types, subscription types, or methods like convert to to string or something like that. Alright, you can think of it as a helper directory. The last two files are index.ts and server.ts. Index.ts is the entry point of our application, which calls the Express app in this file, and server.ts defines the Express app setup. So if you are unaware of these two files, then I've already made a video on setting up a Node Express TypeScript project where I explain why we use both files instead of just index.ts. Check out if you are curious. Now that wraps up our discussion on the directory structure. Now you have a clear big picture understanding of what goes inside a moderate to large scale web server projects. I hope this video gave you valuable insights. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram or drop a comment on YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe, it helps me reach more people. That's it for this video. See you in the next one. Peace.